Hello everyone, welcome again to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn how to cut a straight gown, and by straight gown we mean a gown that won't have any joining at the waist. You just have to cut everything together, not separate. It's not the kind of gown that you cut the upper part and then the down part and join together at the waist. So by this, we will first of all mark out our basic bodies: the armhole round, the bust point, half length, then hip length. There is a standard for hip length. You use 24 for people that are not too slim. Sorry, use 24 for people that are slim and not too tall, and then use 25 for people that are chubby and tall. So for this, we'll be making use of 24 inches. So having marked out our hip length, we'll go over to the full length and then 1 inch for hemming allowance. So having done that, we'll rule out the lines and then we'll start imputing the remaining full body measurement. So the round bust we'll be making use of in this video is 36. So that we'll be dividing 36, which is the round bust, by 4. If you divide it, you have 9 inches. Then you add your joining allowance and then 1 inch for that. So that's what you see me doing here. We'll do the same thing at the round waist. The round waist we are making use of here is 30 divided by 4. That is 7.5 inches plus 1 inches for that, and then joining allowance. So that's after marking out the round bust. I will move over to the round waist. The joining allowance depends on your choice. If you don't want too much allowance, you can make use of 1 inches, but if the maximum you can make use of is 2, and then the minimum you can make use of is half inch, depending on your choice. If it's not Ankara material, you can just make use of half inches, but if it's Ankara material, you can make use of 2 inches or 1.5 inches, depending on your preferences. So having measured out the round waist, we'll move over to the round hip. The round hip for this is 42 plus the joining allowance, and then we'll measure it out and move over to the full length. So for this is not a line, this is straight gown. It's just a straight gown, like I said before. So for the hemming line, we'll be making use of our round hip for the full length. So whatever we got as the round hip measurement, we'll use the same thing as the full length measurements. So it depends on your choice. You can make it pencil mouth, you can decide to make it a line, depending on your choice. But this we are ruling it straight. We are going to make use of our hip line. But in a case where you want to make it a line, you can decide to add one, and like I did here, you can decide to add 2.5 inches to the rest of the hip measurement, and it will just turn to a line automatically. So for the armhole curve, we'll be making use of 1.5 inches to curve it. Then we'll be coming in by half inches. We'll divide the armhole length by 2 and then come in by half inches to give it that perfect curve. Then we'll be making use of 1 inches for the shoulder slant. Then for the neckline, we'll be making use of 3 inches by 3 inches. By 3 inches by 3 inches, I meant we'll be making use of 3 inches wideness and then 3 inches for the depthness. So in order to get a perfect neckline, you have to rule it this way and then you give it a curve. You're making use of freehand. So this is all about this straight gown. Thank you very much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, as I will be dropping some videos. So for the dart, we'll be making use of our bust band, which is 4 inches, that is 8 divided by 2, 4, and then 9 inches for the dart, 4 inches at the upper part, and then 5 inches at the lower part. And then we'll be using half inches for the dart. Remember that we added 1 inches for the dart, so we'll be using half inches at the right hand side and then half inches at the left hand side. That's it about the dart. In some cases you might prefer not to add that, in some cases you might prefer to add that, so it depends on preferences. So you are adding that because you want to give it a perfect shape, but in a situation whereby you don't want it to be tight, you can decide not to add a dart to it. So that is it for this thread gown. So the back pattern is just almost the same thing as the front pattern. You only have to add 1 inches for zip and then for slit. Thank you.